Hello, everyone. I am Mark Berman. This is Cynthia Lieberman. We are coming to you from
Beverly Hills.
Beverly Hills at the Beverly Hilton Hotel.
Yes.
We're in the lobby. There's some music playing, by the way, which is kind of cool, right?
What is it? I can't even hear it.
I don't know, some old stuff, but we're in the lobby. You can see people at the is that the concierge, I think? Yeah. Getting some whatever they need help. But we're pretending that we're back. We were here yesterday. We were really here a minute
Tonight.
ago. We're still here.
Yeah, a minute ago.
But we're dressed up because we were at the TCA Awards.
And because, you're Mark.
And you're Cynthia. So I put a tie on for you. I can't breathe, Cynthia. I gotta take this tie. It's horrible. But we're going to talk about, we talked about the awards. We talked about, going from a large organization to running your own company. So let's talk about, now the name of the company is?
Lieberman Communications.
Right, and tell us, where do we find you?
You can go to my LinkedIn page. I'm on Twitter. I'm on everything.
Right.
Lieberman C. Lieberman.
Right.
Communications.
Somebody just ran by, which is kind of funny. But let's talk about some of the projects that you're currently working on. What would you like to talk about? What are you doing now?
Well, I've evolved. I've done a lot of things since I left Sony. The last large show that I launched was Dr. Oz, which I loved.
Right.
And Sony's a great company. It was an economy thing. But since then, one of the things that I did was I was a social media publicist in the last year that America's Got Talent was in Los Angeles. And it was the first year they had done social media, and Fremantle asked if I could do social media publicity for them, help them with the NBC. And so one of the things I did was I trained the contestants when they would come in from around the country, the live contestants, I would train them. NBC would say to the little Texas 7-year-old gymnast, here's a Facebook, here's a blog, here's a Twitter, go. And so they'd be like, what? And so I helped them learn how to tell stories. One of my favorite stories was there was a magician. He was very talented. There were 3 magicians in the final 12, and he we came up with this really amazing thing about conversation. He said he'd go on Twitter and he'd say, I'm having trouble with this next act. Can you help me? Go to my Facebook. So people would go to Facebook, and instead of saying, I'm going to use silver glass, he says, should I use silver glass? And they would vote, and then whether he won or not, it didn't matter, because at the end it'd say either, yay, you helped me get this far, or even though I didn't make it, if you want to know where I got that DeLorean, go to my blog page. And he started a conversation. I thought that was pretty smart. But the most fun thing was that I used the show house as an example. So, you want to make it used to be in the 90s, we got to get a website. Now it's, we got to get a video game. We got to get a mobile game. And this never really happened. This was just an idea. So you say, okay, let's see, House, he's got addiction problems, he's got a cane. Pac-Man is really easy. You know the show Pac-Man, everybody knows Pac-Man.
Of course.
And so he could be chasing pills with a cane, right? That's pretty funny. But the question that people forget is, well, wait a minute, is that what I want people to process over and over again? And so you really have to first ask, content is king, context is queen. You need to ask, what is my brand? Am I a comedy? Am I a drama? Am I a reality? And then map it to whatever platform you're doing. So that's just some of the examples of some of the things I do.
And here's something, I'm going to point something out on that story about me. That's a personal thing that I told you earlier. I'm going to tell you again. Pac-Man. I don't know. I was a Pac-Man champion in college.
I think that's such a hoot.
I play in tournaments. And each game of Pac-Man, I could be playing one game for 20, 25 minutes. And then they came out with Ms. Pac-Man.
Oh, I loved Ms. Pac-Man.
And then there was another Pac-Man that had keys on it, I remember. You'd move the thing and it would hit a key. But literally, if there was a Pac-Man machine here, and I said, Cynthia, I'm going to just play Pac-Man, you wouldn't see me the rest of the night.
Forget the Jack in the Box tacos. Bring me a Nintendo Game Boy.
No, I remember. This was in college, so I would play Pac-Man at the Student Union building, and then at Friday night I would go to Jack in the Box and get my meal of 2 tacos, a bonus Jack, and a whatever hamburger they have. But yeah,
chocolate shake.
I never got a chocolate shake.
No?
I never got that. But every time I come out here, the big thing for me is I like Jack in the Box tacos.
That's crazy.
So like I said in the other video cast, I've had a number of them out here. So I'm tacoed out. You know what I mean?
Plus all you do is eat here.
Oh my God.
Work and eat.
This is a cruise ship. It's like here's what it is.
Freaking Beverly Hilton.
It's like the Love Boat. except it's sort of like you're on a cruise ship, eating.
Yep.
And I feel like you start feeling you're on water because you start getting wobbly. I'm eating, but it really is a lot of work.
But you've been working out here, so
I've been working out here.
It's pretty good.
There is a gym. I try to do
And the
that.
weather's pretty good.
The weather's very nice here, and it's a great hotel. And I look forward. We're coming back again here next year.
Yeah, it's great to be at the TCA and to see how much journalism has shifted and how much storytelling has shifted. There's so many great ways to tell stories. And then, it'd be nice sometimes to have more than 7 minutes of Eva Longoria, as one reporter
Well,
said to me.
I remember, I miss the old days, the way it works now, unfortunately. Let's put on your publicist hat. Let's say you're back and you're sending me a press release on ratings for Dr. Oz.
What's a press release?
What's a press release? And what happens ultimately is people take the press release, they put it on Twitter. The whole release is tweeted, so there's no analysis, no discussion, nothing. And that's how everything's reported now.
Right, except for when you do it. Because you're a critic, and you really are. You really analyze the story.
I try. Like one of the things I do from here is when we have the network portion, and we just got through with Fox. CBS is coming up next. I look at each show, and the way I kind of analyze the show is I just don't look at is it a good show or a bad show. I look at where it's airing, what it airs out of, what it airs into, what the competition is, what happened last year. Does it have a social media? Will it do well in social media? Will it do well in the other data streams out there? So that's how I kind of look at it. But it's so different now, particularly with a place like Netflix here, and you don't get ratings.
Right. But that's the great thing, Mark, is that you really understand that same content. Content is king and context is queen,
right.
And they need to be married together.
Yeah.
And you really take it and make a whole wedding out of it. You go and you analyze the whole marketplace. It's refreshing and really nice to see that still exists in journalism.
Thank you. And what else are you working on? Anything in particular you could say?
Well, I have a side effort called cyberwise.org, which is No Grown Up Left Behind, and it's about teaching the tools for parents and teachers, teaching them the behavior so they can teach their kids about balance and multitasking and privacy and shaming and body image and reputation. And there's at the time when we started this 5 years ago, people were like, "What are you talking about? Digital citizenship?" But it's growing like crazy. We're presenting in front of all the Catholic schools, our presentation, and it's a really rewarding thing to do.
When did you start that?
I started it after I finished the master's program that I started at Sony. I met my partner online. She lives in Capistrano Beach, and she's a producer, and I'm a marketer, and we found that there's all this great stuff being done, but teachers don't tweet. That's how we started. And now we make the tools very easy for people to be able to understand and to teach kids how to, don't just stick a phone in a stroller at 2 years old and say, "Oh, look, when they're 4, oh, they're better than I am, ha ha ha." Well,
Oh, that's interesting. What's it called again?
Cyberwise.org. No Grown Up Left Behind.
That's very interesting. I wasn't aware that you were doing. You're a busy person.
I'm a busy person.
And that's a good thing.
But I've always been busy. The entertainment business is really demanding, so I like having it. I also handle Cliffside Malibu, which is a high-end luxury addictions center, and so I do a lot of things I was just at the Veterans Conference, PTSD, so, and the Dance Network, new channel that is just launching, so I'm doing PTSD and dancing. I get to do a little everything.
That's very cool. That's very cool. Yeah. And I remember, we had a show here the other day. I remember you had told me, I have to deviate for a second. As I'm talking, James Corden just walked away.
He did. My mom loves him.
Yeah.
She tapes him every day. He's hilarious.
He's great.
He was a good host, too.
He was a good host. You had mentioned, we had a show here the other day, and I remember you telling me one of your early clients, when you started out as a publicist, was Jamie Lee Curtis, wasn't it?
Yeah, she has a show.
She was here. She's on, what do you call it? The show
Jamie.
on Fox. Why can't I think of the name of it? The Scream Queen.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. She was on Anything But Love.
That was a good show.
Yeah, and her daughter's
seasons.
like a year older than mine, and they used to play on the set together.
Did they?
Yeah. She's great. She and Richard Lewis.
Then you never see that show repeated anywhere, and I think there were about 57 episodes.
Because it went through. Very good. Not 58, notice, by the way. Not 56, but 57, because only Mark would know that.
I memorized how many.
Like this fact machine.
I have a lot of information here I don't know what to do with. It's a strange thing, but ask me where my keys are. It's like, what? What?
You couldn't find your glasses 5 minutes
and what
ago.
What did I do? So you come here tonight, as a favor to me, and I really appreciate it.
No,
and
it was a favor
and I'm
to
like,
me.
And I'm like, let me introduce you to my friends. Hello, I'd like you to meet Mary Lou. I'm like, no, you're Cynthia. I got the name wrong.
Oh,
but
please, you're too hard on yourself.
But I can remember how many episodes of the show there were.
I know, especially
Strange.
the Waltons.
Oh God, 221. And they did 6,
I don't even know that.
6 made for reunion movies. So if you add that up, divided by 2 is really 233. A lot of television.
They
lot
should
of
do like
Waltons.
interstitials or something with that. You'd be great for
By
that.
the end of the show, by the end, when the Waltons ended, by the way, the parents were gone. Of course, Will Geer died. Ellen Corby was, she had the stroke. So it was really the kids living alone with all these people living with them. It was a little strange.
Oh, yeah, well.
But anyway.
Hey, it's the millennials today.
That's right.
I got my mom
And
and,
then
my
ultimately-
husband, and my mother living with me.
Well, years later, Gilmore Girls had a hotel, an inn, and it was the Waltons' house. I'm like, that's not an inn. That's
It
where the
was?
Waltons
That's
live.
awesome.
Yes.
I didn't
And they
know
only
that.
had 1 bathroom.
Oh my God.
Isn't that crazy?
That's weird.
11 people in a house. Anyway,
All right,
it's
thank
not
you so
about the
much.
Waltons. It's about you. Thank you for joining
Thank
me.
you. This was really fun.
And tell me again, give us your company name.
Lieberman Communications, and you can find me. The best way is on my LinkedIn, Cynthia Lieberman,
Right.
or any social media that you choose from, Tumblr. Except for you won't find me on Tinder. I have to say, you won't find
No,
me
you're
on
not.
Tinder. No. I don't need that. I got a good husband.
But you're a big you're a big tweeter. You're
I
tweeting.
love Twitter, and I
Yeah.
do a lot of things with Twitter. So
I'm a huge Twitter. I tweet
yes,
a lot.
at Mark Berman.
At Mark Berman and at TVMediaInsights.com. I have 2 different accounts.
Yes, you do, because
So-
I follow them both.
Thank you, and I thank you for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
And I will see you back again.
You'll be back on the other coast.
The next one will be back from New York. So thank you all for joining me. And
Thank
thank
you.
you, Cynthia.
Thanks for having me.
Take care.
All right.